Yes, as painful as it is, we must discuss the murder. It may seem hopeless at the moment, but since we don't have much information to work with, but clues will reveal themselves as we bring about certain topics to light. So don't hold your tongue. We must do this to save ourselves. Then I'll start with her cause of death. According to the Monokuma file, it was strangulation. Can we identify what she was strangled with? Just what was Pandora strangled with? Can we eliminate any possibilities? I was thinking it might have been a rope from the climbing center. Na klar, es könnte Service sein, aber ich bezweifle, dass Services ist. Surfing is horrifying to think about it, but perhaps the culprit used their own hands. Ich glaube, da würde ich halt zu Nein tendieren. Ich glaube, dann hätten wir irgendwelche Kampfspuren gesehen. Think about what in a spa lounge could be used. Spa Lounge. Gibt es irgendwas, was mir gerade so einfällt? Ich würde halt. Wait, Missy. If you think about it, though, if someone was grasping so tight, don't you think there would be fingernails marked dug into the skin? I yield that could be right. There weren't any signs of such cruel brutality. I wouldn't easily forget something as violent as nails being dug into the skin, if that helps clarify the possibility. I suppose I'm relieved to hear that, but... So, ich dachte, ich kann jetzt sagen, wir sollten Sachen eliminieren. Da habe ich eliminiert. Keine Ahnung, Seil, das ist, glaube ich, immer noch möglich. Das heißt... What's in a spa lounge? Think back to what is in a spa lounge. What if anything could be used? What item in a spa lounge could have been used to strangle Pandora? Oh no! How am I supposed to know? Hilfe! Was gab's denn da? Oh, na toll. Man könnte ihre Schleife benutzt haben. Okay. Was gibt es, was man... Ja, sie hat Armband und Schleifen, aber Schleife hat nicht gehabt. Armband kannst du sie nicht irgendwie Dings... Ist das... Ich dachte, das ist eine Kapuze. Ist das ein Handtuch? Vielleicht ist es ein Hand, bitte. Towel? Schreibt man das so? Okay. Okay, oh my god, I got it. Could it be? Echo, are you onto something? I think so, because I recall seeing something that might answer your question. I believe the culprit might have used a towel to strangle her. It's an unassuming object, isn't it? Of course, there are going to be towels in the spa lounge, so the culprit took advantage of the location and utilized the tools available. The tool being the towel she was resting her head on. Then they must have strangled her by wrapping a towel around her neck and pulling it until she stopped struggling and breathing altogether. It would explain the lack of fingernails dug in, as well as explain why I didn't see anyone in the climbing center. It might just be conjecture, but it's the best thing we have so far. But there's something bothering me. If I may, what if I don't get is Why was Pandora seemingly so relaxed in the spa? She was reclining, and there were any signs of a struggle in the whole room. There was that obnoxious music playing in the spa too, so I doubt she would have stayed. Huh? The music in the spa was different? More importantly, Echo, did you bonk your head or something? The spa lounge is soundproof too. Huh? Then what did I hear in the spa? I don't know. Nice calming spa music. Harps and gentle piano stuff. Usual music is expected in the spa lounge. Spa music? But there was some kind of annoying noise in the spa when I went in. Okay, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but do you have amusia? What? Amusia? It's a musical disorder in which one brain has trouble processing pitch. For the most part, some people affected with it describe music as just noise. It's often described as difficult to tolerate at worst, but in certain countries where the language relies on pitch, it's highly determinable. Huh? No, I've never come across any sort of issue like that. That would explain why we couldn't hold a note when you tried to play the cello. You probably didn't even realize it. But what relevance does it have to the trial? If the spa lounge is soundproof, and the motivational music was playing through the rest of the mansion, what did you hear inside, assuming you could... What you did hear inside, assuming you closed the door behind you, it just must have been the spa music, right? Huh? In that case, wouldn't Pandora have been completely relaxed and unaware of the motivational music when it started at 4 p.m.? Zero, I noticed in your kiosk messages you didn't specify which room was soundproof. It simply said your current room is a special room. Is that accurate? I said I didn't write that. But, yes, I guess it did say that. Didn't it? Fine. All second floor rooms are soundproof. Happy? All second floor rooms? Well, not an atrium, but it's more of a giant hall than a room. I must have not known I left the climbing center's doors open. So it's not just a jazz club. We probably thought the jazz club alone was soundproof because people performed in there. Now it isn't real that Pandora was willingly in the spa lounge, relaxing with some sort of calming music playing, presumably before the motivational music began. And even when it did begin, she would not have been unaware due to the soundproof quality of the spa lounge. Just a minute, that means the motivational music had nothing to do with provoking someone to kill her? What? Echo, you know what provoked a person, don't you? You had this look on your face since this afternoon. It's a note, isn't it? You've seen it before I brought it up with you and Art. Finally talking about the note. Yes, I've seen it before. Huh? Pandora herself showed it to me last night. Pandora? But how did she see it? Lyle said it was the announcement special gift from this morning. I lied about that. There was no special gift. If someone did show up, I was just going to call them a chump personally. What is this note you're talking about? It was a note to be kept in secrecy. It said, if you recognize one of the symbols depicted, then you have finally found me and are safe. Please do not speak of this note's existence. Trust no one but yourself. It had 2 emblems on it, and the note references, and I saw one of those emblems on the shreds of wet paper in the spa pool. Pandora was in possession of such a dangerous, suspicious thing? The culprit must have saw that she had the note on hand and threw it in a pool to destroy it. They were probably fearful of the implications of the recipient being protected from the danger of killing game. They probably thought that whoever is in possession of the note must be linked to the game itself. Then wouldn't the culprit be one of the few who knew of the note's existence? That's right, she reacted when Zero first mentioned it. Say, you reacted when Zero mentioned the note earlier. Have you seen the note before? I've never seen it. I see. She's lying. Line hat doch gesagt, dass er dadurch gesehen hat, dass sie den hatte, irgendwie, als sie im Essensraum war. If the Atrium's Vestigis was a lie, then what's with the secret note being in the pantry earlier this afternoon? I imagine Pandora herself must have left it there, seeing as she was utilizing the ingredients from the pantry to make breakfast this morning. She just left it there? Then why is there a similar note in the spa pool? She can't have left it out of sight if it's supposedly a note to be kept in secrecy. Wait a minute, then there are two notes? But we still don't know where those notes came from in the first place. None of these random details are making any sense. I'm also having a hard time sorting out relevant information. Indeed, it's becoming difficult to define what is true, what happened when, and why things are as they are. Can we try to lay down a timeline of events? That could clear our heads and straighten things out of anything. A timeline of events. Yes, I think that could help. Ooh. Perhaps I ought to take the events back to the lesson when Pandora showed me the secret note. The note seemed to be the biggest complication. Or pulled me aside and showed me a secret note at... Ich weiß nicht, das ist dann Nachtheimer, glaube ich, 10 p.m. That's it. Yes, it was 10 p.m. I remember the lights started to dim during our conversation, indicating the start of nighttime. The following morning, which was this morning, we can assume Pandora must have been up earlier than everyone else and began preparing breakfast for us. A small group of us had breakfast and rest, but the first motive question, which rang in at 9 a.m. That's right. The first motive question announcement rang in at 9 a.m. We briefly touched on the topic, but ultimately didn't feel any motivation to conduct any sort of killing likely to trigger of the answer. Afterwards, I had planned to go back to my room, but Art stopped me and we went through asking the other students about a question. We were occupied with asking around until 3 p.m. Yes, that's it. But just before 3, Art and I ran into Lyle as he was going to his room. We talked to him a little bit about the question, but he had little to say about the matter. Lyle then showed us that he disarmed the electrocuting door trap. He also brought to our attention the secret note, the same secret note Pandora had the night before. Lyle claimed that someone had left the note in the pantry, Pandora's room, Lyle's room, the pantry. That's right, and the person who was left in the pantry before him was Say, together with me, but it's not me. Yes, Lyle claims he saw Say scurry from the second floor auditorium to the pantry and back out again. After Lyle showed us this door at a secret note, Art and Lyle went off their own and I went to the study at 3 p.m. I was in the study and our announcement rang and started playing some sort of jarring motivational music that once again attempted to start the killing. The motivation music began at 4 p.m. That's right. I recall the announcer said a time. I ran out of the study in panic, trying to find out any of the other students. From the auditorium, I saw a shadowy figure at the top of the stairs and followed it, which instead led me to discover Pandora's body. It's strange. I can't seem to add anything up. Or perhaps there's another unforeseen force factor that contributed to Pandora being killed. Is there anything? Some sort of contradiction or weak point in our discussion? Contradiction oder Schwachstelle. Stört mich halt immer noch, dass der Typ da basically in dem Raum war und niemand an ihm vorbei konnte. Das heißt, es können nur ganz bestimmte Personen da reingekommen sein. Aber er könnte halt auch die ganze Zeit einfach lügen. Und wir haben das jetzt alles aufgebaut darauf, dass er da war und das gesehen hat. Aber wer sagt, dass er uns nicht anlügt? Just saying. Nur weil ich ihn Cyrus mag. But when the note was revealed and was topic of contention, perhaps I ought to think backwards from Pandora's death to see if there are any holes. There was killed in the spa lounge. True. What does Pandora's stayed in the spa lounge? Relaxed. Pandora heard the motivational music. False. Before death, Pandora had heard what kind of music? Functional music. Wait a minute. When I first entered the spa lounge, I was initially under the impression that there was more motivational music playing. However, someone said that there was different music in the lounge. Why was Pandora seeming so relaxed in the spa? She was reclining. There was any sign of struggle in the whole room. There was an object state. The music in the spa was different. More temporarily echoed. Did you bonk your head or something? The spa is soundproof too. Huh? What did I hear in the spa? I don't know. No, she's calling spa music. Music was different. 0. Huh? It was 0, wasn't it? But some of the things were said by 0. I think it was Missy. Who brought it up? I don't know. Cyrus? I don't know. Ich dachte, es war 0. Hat der das nicht gesagt? Von wegen Spa-Music? Ich bin mir sicher, dass es 0 war. Hallo? Ashley? Right? So it was them. That's the case. That person must have been in the spa lounge before the motivational music. I was this victim. And then... it was in the spa lounge with Pandora before she died. Hat er das gesagt? Echt? Hä? Ich war mir so sicher, dass das 0 war. Everyone? I think I have the full picture. What was with you? You were totally spaced out for a second. Be quiet, you. Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay, was there something we were missing? Apparently, due to me being unable to differentiate the music between the spa and the rest of the mansion, I didn't know the music was different in the spa lounge, therefore I couldn't understand why Pandora had been so relaxed in that room. But as we discussed and solved, all the second floor rooms are soundproof from outside sound when the door is closed, and someone said something strange. They mentioned that the music was different. That was what turned the conversation onto discovering me having amnesia in the first place. How could that person have known the music was different before the motivational music? Ich habe eine Camp. Art. Hä? Ich war mir so sicher, dass 0 das gesagt hat. Hä? Bin ich dumm? Das Missy, soll ich mal das auch? Ach geil, anscheinend war es Art. Na toll. Mann, Art. Warum, Bro? Warum? Ja, dann muss ich wenigstens seine Stimme nicht mehr machen. Wenn er der Täter ist, hätte ich also nichts gegen. Wäre ich für. Er ist somit die nervigste Stimme. Und Missy, weil ich Missys Stimme nicht wirklich anders machen kann. Also sie war anders, aber keine Ahnung, inzwischen irgendwie auch nicht mehr. Art. Why did you kill Pandora? Art? Will you not defend yourself? Art, do you not have anything to say for yourself? Art, I can't believe it. It's only a shred of conjecture, but it's the only piece that fits. If we put the timeline together from after Art and I separated from the afternoon at 3 p.m., we can assume that even smaller window between Art and Lai separating afterwards was when Art conducted the murder just before the motivational music. What? We're just going to go with a tiny, impossible statement? Art, buddy, you have to defend yourself. Don't let him tell you what's what. He has an alibi anyways. He was with me until 4 p.m. Lyle, don't lie. He can't have been in the jazz club with you. Art must have known his bar lounge was soundproof. The shadow I saw at the top of the stairs. It must have been him fleeing the bar lounge towards the auditorium. He must have thought the auditorium should be soundproof too, since the non-specific message appeared on his bar lounge kiosk. Lyle, please unravel the events in your head. Even though this is all speculative, and I want nothing more than not to believe it, this is the only ammunition we have. Art, we're your friends. How could you have done this? Digga, rede mit uns. Arturo, please tell us we're wrong. Arturo? That name disgusts me. Echo? You remember what I told you when you asked about the forced motive question, don't you? You were never expanded interests outside golf. Yes. It's because they've never let me. You all don't know. You don't know the influence of an ultimate golfer. All day, I stand around in the sun, listening to scumbags pitch false interest and crummy business ideas to each other. Hours of corporate deception and back-shattering. I hate golf. They made me hate golf. When I went to the spa lounge after hanging out with Lyle, I met Pandora. I was so preoccupied with my thoughts. The FMQ, the note. I didn't even see her until I sat down right next to her. She showed me a different note. It had those symbols from the other note, but different words. I can't even remember what it said. She said it was something about wanting to reach out to whoever is also aware of the two symbols on it. She said that she found them. Of course, you'd be afraid if she said something like that, right? I kept thinking she was involved in this killing game thing, but she was calm. She spoke so softly and calmly. Pandora then asked me about the forced motive question again. I heard I hate golf. It was everything to me when I was young, but now it was a pain. Ich rede übrigens die ganze Zeit nicht mit dem Akzent, es tut mir leid. Lebt damit, danke. But she just smiled, that smile. She thought I was gifted, being able to control the club and all that nonsense. She spoke to me, her voice barely a whisper above her silvery harp music. Art, may I ask something? Huh? I believe I heard about you influencing the merger between yours and Light's schools. Am I correct? Yes. That's such an amazing accomplishment. I can only wish to achieve something as grand as that. But I believe all of us have the ability to induce beneficial change like that if we're given the opportunity. Ultimate students, we have the power of passion and influence in our hands. I hope we all use it for the good of the future. And at that point, she had fallen asleep. Power of passion? You've got to be kidding me. I love golf as a kid. I played it all the time with my grandfather before he passed away. He always told me I'd be the perfect golfer. I clung onto that idea. As I got older and my skill gained enough interest and traction, I was taken in by some company who would take care of me. They gave me free square meals and a comfortable place to live, but at a cost of imprisonment. You just have to play golf as you always do, they said. And I did. Played every game perfectly, every stroke, every read. Eventually, I owned my skill enough to hit a hole-in-one no matter what. It was exhausting, but I couldn't enjoy golfing anymore. I got dragged onto the green, kicking and cursing as people laugh or live their luxurious lives, talk business, and they talk about what a good show I put on. In the beginning, I would get on the green, hit a hole-in-one, and get out. I played short games no one would ever care to watch. Ice in, and they love it. I whiff it, and they eat it up. At that point, they didn't care what I did. I was just their business entertainment. I was just a tool. They flaunted my skill, my title as the ultimate golfer. It was all show business and nothing more. But how could I turn down the stability of a roof over my head? I thought escaping a preservation product would finally free me from that cage. I thought I could finally relax. I thought my grandfather would be proud. Before I knew it, everything happened in slow motion. It was like my body had moved on its own. My mind was screaming, demanding my arms to end whatever charade she was putting on. She's the puzzle master. She's the puzzle master. Stop her now. My vision narrowed onto the towel that was on her shoulders. Everything was red. I felt a burning in my face I'd never felt before. She gasped, waking in shock, and struggled for a moment, but eventually... I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry, Lyle. I was just having fun with you earlier. Huh? My good-for-nothing talent made me despise golf. I never had fun with it since people discovered they could use me for their business deals. Running around with you, figuring out a big puzzle was the most genuine fun I've had in a while. Thanks, Lyle. What the? You can't do this. This isn't real. It was part of a fake game, right? You didn't kill anyone. You're an actor. Tell me you're an actor. Art, tell me this isn't real. It was painful. Like all of us, Lyle was struggling to come to terms with the fact that a fellow classmate had just killed another. Lyle. Is this the truth? You have a shred of evidence to go with a confession? I don't know if I can point out a culprit based on such a low proof. Missy, you want to keep discussing even after a pitiful confession? I can't accept it. I'm able to have my doubts, am I not? Doubting is the only thing keeping me from fully realizing the weight of lofty, impossible to swallow truth. If I can doubt, I can still cling to the possibility of Art not committing to such a horrible crime. Missy, you're deluding yourself with false hope, just like the unfortunate cloud-minded Lyle. It's not sustainable to avoid the truth. There is no need for doubt. Otasan. I have definite proof. Us? Cannon? It was small, but it was unmistakable. Art's head and Art's hair stood out of the backdrop of warm colors, and it was the photograph as well. Lucky seconds before turning around and seeing that shadow flee to the auditorium. What the heck is this? Cannon sure is a weird photographer. No way. There, that's that set that you dubbed me, see? But why did you wait to reveal such a damning evidence? You think I want his blood on my hands? I presented this photograph with known for certain things to me, because I am always unlucky enough to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't want to bear that weight on my conscience. I know it's selfish, but then I suppose it's settled. There's no room for doubt. So, I guess you're all done talking and whatever. In that case, it's voting time. Echo, it's me. I got people missing. It's her. And then person here, art. Zwei Personen fehlen. Ja. Then Sharon two people. Art. Bam. Arturo Compopiano is the culprit. His name sounds Italian. Aber ich kenne keinen italienischen Akzent, deshalb. You did it! Despite all the detours in the conversation, you finally arrived at your destination. The destination being Art's execution. Dismissed. Help. No, I don't like this. Art's execution? Well, yeah. Eye for an eye, right? He was caught. It is stated clearly in the rules to expedite the process towards the ultimate prize. One must kill a fellow student without getting caught. It's bizarre if we weren't for Echo's conventually. Unfortunately, musical disorders and Cannon's terrible luck pulling her to witness him. Art might have gotten away. Do you have anything to say yourself, Arturo Campopiano? This is what the Preservation Project wanted, isn't it? To kill and live on, to prove your strength above our ultimates? You think you're going to live on? You clearly don't have the emotional constitution to carry the people's future. No. You let your fears and anxieties eat you until you broke. Stop. Why? I'm shocked Pandora didn't live. Please. She lost to you, a weak, vulnerable, pathetic, and cruel. I couldn't bear her anymore. That's enough. She's still alive! I knew it! I knew it! That voice, it was the other announcer? Oh, the other announcer holding him appeared to the stand to say right. Okay, anscheinend doch nicht. Keine Ahnung, ich war bei Silvery Voice und hier war ich bei der soften Voice von ja. Egal. Gut, sie ist doch tot. Pandora ist doch tot. Vergiss alles, was ich gesagt habe. Mann. Zero, stop this at once. Oh, you. These students reveal the culprit. Is that not enough? Huh, fine. I guess that's enough pestering. His face was just so rich with despair, I couldn't help it. Stop this. Fine. I'll get on with it. Goodbye, Arturo Campagno, the ultimate golfer. The execution awaits, and so it goes. Zero's hologram dropped out in a huge rumbling sound tore through the room. Something was coming. Bloop. And skip the execution? No! Grim shook violently as we all struggled to keep our footing. A golf cart came shrieking out of the hole behind the curtains and stretched through the courtroom, making one revolution around the circular stands before stopping at Art's stand. Mechanical arms erupted from the golf cart, immobilizing Art and slamming him into the golf cart seats. The golf cart veered back into the hole behind the curtains, and a large projection of a camera following the cart was projected on the ceiling on the courtroom. There was There we saw Art getting carelessly thrown face into a golf bunker, what happened to be a giant miniature golf course. The miniature golf course was decorated with an enormous windmill and bear statue, and Art rose and caught up the sand in the days. Hat ja interessante Haare ohne seinen Hut. Behind him, the bear statue came to life, slowly raising a golf club behind his head. Ooh! Before Art could turn to see what was coming, the bear swung. Crunch! Arturo Compiano, the ultimate golfer, has been executed by extreme hazard. It's hilarious! He hated golf, but little did he know all those business deals he sat in on. Those deals were the ones that brought in funding for the preservation project, the very thing he wanted to escape to. He thought he could fly away, but it turns out that his influence was unescapable. Life sure is cruel, isn't it? It was beyond horrifying. A disgusting display mocking Art's ultimate title ended his life. He used his talent, and in this last moment, it was all he saw. We all stood completely and utterly shocked. No one said a word. No one moved a muscle. An unmistakably sinking feeling froze us over. Despair. Ha! In return for entertaining me, how about I answer one question that's been drilling into one of your minds? Where are we? This isn't the preservation project at all, is it? Uh-oh. I said one question only. I will off courtroom sites and the monogamous superstructure. I remember those earthquakes, those aren't going to bother us thanks to civil engineering. Haha. I hope that satisfies your curiosity. 0. A silvery voice spoke once again. You are a reaper of despair. Wherever you do ends in futility and provides no benefit to anyone. No benefit to anyone except you and your horrible Schadenfreude. Okay. But little do you know how people always prevail. Escape your traps briefly to reveal important information. It is but a silver of light, but I know you will not prevail after this. The student Echo Pine? Huh? You've received the title of Ultimate Memory. I don't remember anything. Memory? Useless. What good is an ultimate title that conceals all its information in a dumb skull? Not even ultimate analytic powers. Prowess like that one pathetic girl. Come on, Eve. You've really given up trying, haven't you? Fine. You think that will give these people hope? NP6, the queen is in trouble. I have little information neither you nor the student will like. Cyrus. Someone to be wary of. Ja, guess what? Das dachte ich mir auch schon. Warum? Weil sein Name einfach Cyrus ist. Wer heißt Cyrus? Nein, mein Name ist nur Cyrus. Hier sind ruhig Sassies. Ja, natürlich ist er nicht, wer sagt, er es ist. Niemand kann wirklich Cyrus heißen. Das ist dumm. Okay, und sein Ultimate Talent ist fake, okay. Ultimate Charisma? What a terrible cover talent. You're all truly clueless if you believe that. Ich glaube, sein Ultimate Talent ist sowas wie Ultimate Manipulator oder sowas. Aber er wollte das halt nicht sagen, damit Leute nicht denken, oh, das ist doof, deshalb sagt er lieber Charisma. Dann denken die so, okay. 0, you've meddled enough. What? And you haven't? Whatever. I'm closing this courtroom now. Also, es ist kein Marinate in despair for a night, but tomorrow we'll get it going again. 0. Shut up, I'm tired of hearing you say my name, Eve. You will never win. Beep. That odd display, the 2 holograms cut out. Shadows dropped down from the top of the windows, drowning us in dim light in the courtroom. What? What just happened? I was on the verge of tears. My whole body shook violently. So much has happened. There was a weight at the bottom of my heart, dragging my whole body down. It felt like my head was going to split. Getting trapped in a strange luxury mansion where I seemingly didn't belong, with a group of students skilled with a so-called ultimate talent, and getting wrapped up in a class trial where we have to investigate someone killing someone else. How could this be? Why? 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 I want to go to bed for a long time. Before I knew it, my limp body dove to the floor, and I kneeled over. My heavy eyes closed wearily, and I allowed myself to sink into the velvety darkness. 8 students remain. Chapter 1 end. Okay, guys, we did it. Okay, das war echt cool. Das hat mir echt viel Spaß gemacht. Mag auch die Charaktere. Bin sehr interessiert, was da noch kommt. Ich bin vor allem Fan von Cyrus. Ja, ich würde sagen, das war's. Bye bye, guys.